I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made, as they are being made, we shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our island home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary, alone. Winston S. Churchill, Speech to the House of Commons, 4th of June 1940. Great Britain, 1941. Chapter 1. London, Saturday, 22nd of February. The taxi pulled up at the corner of Whitehall Place. Alighting, Clement pulled up the collar of his overcoat and walked towards the elaborate stone entrance of number 7. Taking a deep breath, he reached for the door handle and stepped inside. 5 months had passed since he'd last been here. The airless smell of the foyer made it seem like yesterday. He felt ambivalent about his return. The letter asking him to come to London burned in his top pocket. As he climbed the grey stone stairs, he recalled the day he'd received it, and how his heart had sunk at the sight of the envelope. He wasn't entirely sure why. He had, after all, expected it. Perhaps it was because it meant he could no longer avoid the world. Or maybe he just hoped they would leave him alone now. If Johnny Winthorpe had anything to do with it, and Clement guessed he did, then Colonel Gubbin's letter was a summons, not a request. Clement remembered the first time he had set eyes on the charismatic colonel. Then Clement had been a rural vicar, living in one of England's prettiest East Sussex villages, Fernley Morton. But that was before the war, before his involvement with the covert auxiliary units, before all manner of things. But mostly before Mary died. He cleared his throat. His wife's death was still too raw. "Reverend Wisdom?" The sound of someone calling his name made his ghost vanish, at least for now. At the top of the stairs stood a smartly dressed young woman. "This way, please." Clement joined her, then followed her along the corridor, the sound of her shoes tapping out an energetic rhythm on the marble tiles. Yet, despite her brisk manner, his attention was on the elaborate surroundings of the 3rd floor. "Has Colonel Gubbins moved office?" The young woman continued walking. "Yes, but I'm taking you to Captain Winthorpe's office." "Not Commander Winthorpe any more, then?" The woman stopped and turned, her face breaking into the sort of grin that reveals neither emotion nor information, before continuing her march along the corridor. Clement felt a sigh rising. Official secrets. Whitehall was full of them. No one chatted any more. His thoughts returned to Johnny Winthorpe, his old colleague from theological college days. Johnny's promotion didn't surprise Clement. His mind went back to the night on Winchelsea Beach and the 2 men with whom he had expected to die, Johnny Winthorpe and Chief Inspector Arthur Morris of Lewis Police. That had been in the autumn of the previous year, and Clement hadn't seen either man since. Gubbins had ordered his removal to the West Country to recuperate. Although convalescence was not the only reason for Clement leaving Fernley Morton, the village he had served for over 20 years. It had been for his protection. He visualized the villagers, people whose lives he had shared, and imagined their bewilderment at his sudden departure. Every time he thought about Fernley Morton, he felt guilty.